right, we're here at Kirkbrae Country Club from the NEPGA Championship. As the leaders are, as we're taping this, are on the back side. It looks like Rich Barbarian is going to win, barring an epic disaster. But excited to be joined by Brad Valois, one of the top golfers and amateur golfers in Rhode Island history. And he was just hanging around, so I said, "Hey, come tape a podcast with me." And you said, "Sure." What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here. Just came by for some lunch this afternoon, I guess. Watched some golf a little bit, getting to see some of the players tee up on the 10th hole, which is a little different. I actually went through while I worked today. I went through the scoring average for each hole.
Yeah.
And I was shocked to see at some of the difficulties of some of the holes versus where they are on the traditional
Yeah.
scorecard. What do you think the hardest hole is
Today?
today and for all the pros the last couple of days? Out of all 18 holes here at Kirkbrae, what would you say the hardest hole is?
I would bet it's probably. Hold on, I'm thinking about.
What do you think it is?
Five?
Five.
Is that
Hole
it?
number 14, par five.
Oh yeah, that was obvious. That was too obvious.
That's the number one
That was too
handicap hole
obvious.
for the professionals out here. I wonder why.
Yeah, well, it's a quirky hole. They probably, but I haven't watched them. But I wonder if they just try to take it over the trees on the right.
That's a great question. I mean, us as amateurs, we don't really play for money, so we kind of just go for broke a lot and doesn't really matter. But I guess when you're playing for money or you're
Right.
playing to get in the PGA Championship, what do you hit off the tape?
Well, I mean, I hit an iron anyway, so it wouldn't make a difference to me. But you can see it here on 10. We're high above the 10th hole for those that don't know where exactly we are. You can see it here on 10. And we're driver, it's a 10-shot lead.
Really?
Okay, I found this on the web for how to 10 iron Barbarian hit driver. Check it out.
Right. Anyway, but he hit driver. He has like a 10-shot lead, but these other guys all hit irons. So
Shocked to see that. I was one of the that along with seeing hole number 14 as the hardest hole. I would say I was genuinely shocked to see professionals, especially in the final group, hit irons.
Yeah, I was
240 or 250 yard.
But again, maybe they're trying to protect their position. I think the top 13 make it to the PGA National thing, and then the top 20 from there make it to the PGA Championship, like the Michael Blocks of the world. So it's definitely interesting to watch these guys play. It was cool to see Eddie Kirby tee off. He still has the course record here from 25 years ago or something. 63 is the course record. In case you're wondering, you can probably break that, but
no, I don't think so. I don't think so. That's a different level of golf it takes.
Back in your heyday,
maybe 15 years ago, if I played every day, I might have a chance once or twice, but I don't think that's going to be broken. Although we did see a 59 at Agawam.
Yeah, and a 59 at Pawtucket. Andrew O'Leary shot 59 at Pawtucket.
In a tournament?
Yeah, no, not a tournament, just playing.
Just playing.
He trained like a 20-footer for a birdie on 18.
Oh my goodness.
59.
Oh my goodness.
So 259s in 2 days in Rhode Island.
Oh, that was recently.
Yeah, it was.
Oh wow.
The Barbarians 59 was what, Tuesday? And Andrew O'Leary's was Monday. So 259s in Rhode Island in 2 days. So
that's impressive.
Pretty cool stuff. How's your golf game? Obviously, you've had it up and down the year. You've showed some flashes of brilliance and other flashes of other things. What's your game? What's your game like these days?
Well, I'm liking the idea of thinking that the season's halfway over. We got such a late start to the season, and we still have a couple more events to go. So I'm gonna hold out and say so far and how I'm doing. But to this point so far, it's definitely been underwhelming.
Yeah. What's been, as I talk to you often, I see you often. What's been the frustrating? I mean, there's a lot of things frustrating about golf, obviously. For anyone that plays it, we know. But what's been frustrating for you? Just you haven't been able to find that magic?
I think the older you get, the more maintenance it takes to maintain your body and to maintain a level of performance. I mean, to hit the ball as far as you did, in your college days, which is all those years ago. I mean, it takes a little bit of you got to stay in decent shape, which is hard to do, which takes up a lot of time and a lot of resources. So that's probably first and foremost. And then second thing is you got to play a lot. You got to practice a lot, right, to build confidence. So I've been reading the books lately. I've been sharing the books with everybody that I know of, and it's the books by Bob Rotella, Golf's Not a Game of Perfect, and Putting Out of Your Mind, and how big the mental side impacts your performance overall. And a lot of that comes to when you practice and when you play. It's you're training your brain and you're training your mind to build confidence, right? So how you play, how you practice, all have a big impact on how you do. So for me, not having the confidence because I don't play that much, maybe once a week at best, it's affecting my performance down the stretch in pressure situations, and it's clearly evident, I guess, in all my recent events. But
it makes you appreciate Bobby Leopold coming on this late.
yeah,
I don't want to say late stages. He's certainly not old by any stretch, but later stages of his career, quote unquote, to
absolutely
bang a few amateur wins out, and other guys doing the same thing. Kevin Blazer and those guys. It makes you appreciate what they're doing.
Absolutely. I mean, I ran into Billy Auger.
Yeah.
At the amateur, I think it was this year, and I remember playing when I won my amateurs all those years ago, maybe 10 years plus ago, when I went on my run. I remember the guys that I was beating and playing against was Charlie, Billy, and I just remember Billy being a great competitor, right? And then since he's had a kid, he kind of didn't stop playing for a number of years. Then to see him back out there, the first thing I said to him, I was like, man, I never gave you guys enough credit. When you guys were 35, 40 years old and I was 18, 19 years old, being up on you guys a little bit, playing golf every day, looking back on it, how impressive it was to see guys that play once, twice a week show great scores and compete with the young guys. But to see Bobby doing what he's doing, it's super impressive because he's like a fine wine, keeps getting better with age.
Now you guys are tied at 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's only right if you guys meet head to head.
Yeah.
For a title in the coming year or two. I think that'd be
it's
oddly enough, Just like it's only right if the Celtics and Lakers played each other for a banner 18. It's only right if you guys play each other for title number 5. So hopefully,
very true. So with that, I think Bobby and I now, since like 1920, I have the most amateurs all time by a lot, right? So Bobby and I faced each other head to head twice. I lost both times. I blew the lead both times. I was up in both matches coming down the stretch, and Bobby overtook me. I'm hoping third time's a charm. If we ever get that date, it's definitely going to be a big match, and it's definitely overdue.
It would definitely be fun.
I'm about to read my books.
Read your book.
Really practice what I preach. It's going to take my best game to ever have a chance.
Watch some of the pros out there, see what they're doing. We've talked about this before. And you had the opportunity to play some of these kids in the amateur and elsewhere as well. The state of Rhode Island golf, I don't know that it's ever been better or stronger, just in general. You have a unique perspective because you were a young kid. You were a phenom of sorts.
Yeah.
Now these other kids are coming, the Max Jackson, the Harry Dessels. Harry obviously made it to the amateur final. He won the stroke play.
Yeah.
How do you look at that? What's your perspective on kind of the younger generation coming quickly for what you guys have done for the last couple of years?
I mean, when I was coming on, we've always had in Rhode Island, we've always had a healthy mid-amateur population, I guess, if you want to call it that. Ranging from back in the day from Charlie and Billy and Susie and Dr. Peary, always competed with the young guys. So even the young guys, when they were doing or excelling quite a bit in college, they always were still able to compete. And then over the last, say, 10, 12 years, we've had Rhode Island, oddly enough, been a top 5 state in the whole country in terms of our top 5 guys, as evidenced by all those USGA state team tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And we finished second one year. I never played on a few of them where we finished top 5 a couple times. So state of the game Rhode Island is super strong. I don't know how or why, but it's definitely always been strong. And having the younger kids like Max and Dressels or Harry, he's coming around this year. He's had a couple close calls and he was finally able to get one with the stroke play this year, which is very hard to do, by the way. You got to get hot on the last day. It's just a sign, I think, to the quality of golf that we have in terms of golf courses, the weather coming around a little bit. We have a lot of great pros to teach and learn from. But more importantly is we got a lot of diversity in terms of the age groups and who can compete and succeed out here. So it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. What's next for you? You have the Mid-Am coming up?
We got the USGA 4-ball qualifying next week on the 12th over at PJ. So I'm playing with my former college teammate at our former college home course. So I'm feeling a good 59 watch myself.
And who's that?
For me and Andrew Ferranzano.
All right,
so watch out. I'm calling possibly an early 59.
All right.
You let me know. We'll get a chance to scare it.
Yeah, there goes the US 4-ball qualifying. Then you have the Mid-Am after that. Or later in the month.
We have the state Mid-Am at the end of the month. Which I've never won one of those. Bobby's, I think, got 9 of them. If not 9, he's got 12 of them. Even though he hasn't been in Mid-Am for 12 years, it feels like he has them. So hopefully someone else can win this one this year. I know it's going to be tough because Bobby's obviously a great player.
Kirkbrae's own Larry LaFauci, defending champion.
That's right. That's right.
Yourself, you got Hamilton. You have obviously Bobby's going to do Bobby things.
Speaking of Hamilton, he's come onto the scene and like just ferociously. Like he's
Yeah.
come on and he's in the mix in the top three. It seems like in every single event now, just
He's playing some really
bombing it by
really
all
good
of
golf.
us, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, chipping up to there nice and close and shooting some really great scores.
Yeah, I mean, he crushed it. I watched him tee off here. He crushes it. But then hey, the other day, he was just grinding on the putting green, headphones in, just
Yeah,
putt after putt after putt. I'm like, yeah, I'll skip that.
yeah, yeah.
We'll skip that part. But no, it's been amazing, and what a great opportunity being at Kirkbrae obviously provides. Oh, your food's coming. There you
Right
go.
there for me. Thank you.
You need anything else?
Nope, that's great. Thank you.
So last thing, I'm curious as you talk about the U.S. floorball. The U.S. Mid-Am is this weekend. Aguam's Joel Harvey is actually playing. I'm supposed to be
The
talking to
U.S.
him.
Mid-Am?
Yeah,
Really?
he's the only Rhode Island qualifier.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's this week up in Sleepy Hollow.
Yep.
I think it's in New York. But you played in all these things. We've talked about this before. Just what is that like? What is it like to go to those events? What is it like to be there? Like what's that experience like?
So for me, I would have loved to turn professional all those years ago, but
Was it on the table for you?
not really. I mean,
Not
it takes
really.
a lot behind the scenes, I guess, to make it happen.
I mean, just look at
money.
Davis and Patrick. I mean,
Yeah, a lot of it back then, though,
work.
comes to, it takes a lot of money, I guess,
Right.
to build a business in that sense. So it wasn't all there for me. So I didn't really have that opportunity. But looking back on it, the number one like benefit of being an amateur, especially a good amateur, is being able to play in these USGAs and some of the bigger tournaments like the Northeast and the Border Cups and the Sun Hannahs, because it's truly like a first class professional
You feel like a pro.
field.
You feel like
when you go to a USGA event,
Yeah.
it's like I can't explain anything like it. From as soon as the minute you land in the airport, right, you're getting picked up by a Lexus courtesy car, you get driven to the hotel, and then from there it's literally first class amenities, first class driving range experience. You know what I mean? They got your own bags of balls. You know what I mean? They just take care of you, and it's such a unique and fun experience that even if you don't compete well enough to win or place, it's still going to be one of the best experiences you'll ever have in your life. But speaking of the mid amateur, I have always been saying for 10, 15 years now, there's going to be somebody locally that does well, because in reality, there's 300 something guys that make the fields, and everybody works, right? Everyone's got little kids running around, everyone's works a lot, or everyone's got something going on, so they can't be professional golfers. There's 10 guys in the whole country maybe that are like professional golfers, or they don't work and they play golf every day, but that leaves a lot of guys left. And 64 make match play, so if someone gets hot, I always said, like a Bobby or myself, someone's going to get to win this thing, and somebody that we know is going to play the Masters, right? And oddly enough, it happened with Maddie. So
yeah.
I think we're still young enough though, where Bobby might have a chance. You know what I mean? Hopefully someday I get to play in it again.
Yeah.
I have a chance, but it's one of the best experiences you're ever going to get, because it's professional level. You get to feel it's nothing like being my guest, I guess, having to hit a tough clutch putt to make a match, or to win a match, or to make match play, or something like that on greens that are rolling at 14s. You know what I mean? You get to play once a year at some famous golf course. It's just a golfer's dream.
Absolutely. Well, we're gonna let you eat. Thanks for hanging out for a few minutes. Really appreciate it. That's